So this half hour, strict illegal immigration laws are now officially in effect in the state of Florida. Some call them the toughest such laws in the country.
And the law cracks down on businesses, requiring them to verify that all employees can legally work in the United States. It's also mandates that hospitals report undocumented people if they treat them, and it puts money aside to move migrants, plus much more. But actually enforcing the law might be more complicated than you think. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Nicole Gabe in for Amanda Hall.
And I'm Russ McCaskey. Week News reporter Michael Hudak joins us now in studio. Michael, how hard or how easy is it to enforce these laws?
It's not going to be easy at all. In my hand, I've got Senate Bill 1718, 43 pages that will change our state's entire process when it comes to illegal immigration, but only if it works. And only if state agencies and local law enforcement are willing to go the extra mile to make it work.
Good morning, Sheriff Carmine Marcino. Thank you for being here today.
You've heard our local leaders talk about it.
He's here illegally.
This is Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino at a recent news conference.
This is why we need to protect our borders. It's because when huge numbers of people can come into our border and infiltrate our country, that's a really big problem.
He is echoing the governor.
Of course, you do have criminal aliens that are coming across the border.
Ron DeSantis did not just talk about what he calls an immigration crisis. He took action, pushed the Florida Senate to pass Senate Bill 1718, which is now officially the law in Florida. He calls the measure the toughest anti-illegal immigration law in the nation and boasts that a liberal newspaper agrees.
Even the New York Times admitted this is the strongest legislation against illegal immigration anywhere in the country.
But what is a law if you cannot enforce it? I did some digging, setting out to find the answer to the question, how is the state going to enforce this law? Reading the details, it is clear the pressure is really on two particular parties. Number one, the Department of Economic Opportunity, whose job it is to oversee businesses in Florida. They are the first line of defense, okay? Because the law says that they are responsible for making sure businesses verify their employees. And they are also tasked with punishing the businesses if they hire undocumented workers. And
anyone who transports someone in their vehicle, for example. So if you have a family member who's out of status, a parent, let's say, and you are a U.S. citizen, and you transport this person to the supermarket to do groceries, that will actually now be criminalized as a felony.
The second line of defense are the agencies that actually come in contact with people in our state. I'm talking FHP patrolling our highways and local law enforcement agencies like the Lee County Sheriff's Office and Fort Myers Police Department. It is their job to check people's licenses specifically to make sure that they're legal citizens, which technically they're already supposed to do. But in addition to that, they're going to also have to check IDs of other people inside of the car if they suspect them to be undocumented, which is also a concern for
Uber drivers. Taxi drivers, will they now be required to ask for status of their passengers? We really don't know.
And the Department of Economic Opportunity actually got back to me late this afternoon. They tell me Florida Commerce, which is a division of the DEO, will have the job of implementing the law, even though the law went into effect this past Saturday, and that they're going to let me know when they have updates. Although Florida law does not allow for direct deportation, this law provides $12 million for a program that allows Florida to transport migrants to other parts of the country. We've seen Florida do that twice before. Once the state paid migrants to go from Texas to Cape Cod, and more recently to Sacramento. Nicole?